So we are back from TFCon, and my voice is a little shot, so I'm sorry in advance. I was talking to a lot of fans this weekend, and it was great talking to all you guys, but we're going to be covering the long-rumored item. We had the release date. We talked about it multiple times throughout the week, so we're going to jump into it now because it finally happened. Let's talk about Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. We talked about it earlier this week. We talked about it on the live stream. We had this listing that said it was going to be hitting 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Sunday of TFCon, the midnight release pretty much for the East Coast. And that TFCon Sunday came and went. We woke up early in the morning on the Monday, and we were inundated with a bunch of photos that came courtesy of Amazon UK and Amazon DE, again, probably something due to the other side of the globe with the choice of that midnight release. Maybe because of the soccer, who knows? Either way, we have our very first look at Transformers Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. While these are not all of the photos that this toy has from a marketing retail standpoint, this does give us a strong idea of what this character will look like, his design, and not just how good he is at playing the piano, which we had to work with over the past couple of days. So first, let's start with the truck mode. It's going for a very animation accurate Fluoro Deary design that has that deco strip on the side of the trailer that's very animation accurate and is different from his toy counterpart throughout the years. The shape of the truck cab is pretty much leaning also on that animation design and is very spot on and quite of a different contrast from what we saw with the Earthrise version that kind of was a interpretation rather than a emulation of what was seen on the screen. If I had one complaint, I'm really not a fan of those side mirrors that they put on the truck mode. Even the original animation model rarely kind of had that kind of detail, and in the 86 movie it didn't have it at all. So it looks weird. It kind of looks like how the truck has ears on the side, and it just seems off. So I don't know. That is a little bit of a weird choice that they did. Maybe it's part of the transformation, and those side mirrors help anchor in something. But as it stands on its own, I don't really understand it. So at least it's a step up overall in the animation department in terms of its shape and everything from that leader class we got with Earthrise, and has that more animation look and coloring that's accurate. But that is kind of bizarre, that. So I just kind of want to cover that. The figure does come with some unique blast effects to mimic him launching into the air from the 86 movie when he was fighting against the Decepticons in truck mode going into robot mode. So that's pretty cool. It's really rad. It's iconic. So to be able to mimic that and have blast effects that do that, it's pretty cool. They look like they're probably stuff that could be used on the bottoms of the feet of let's say Seeker characters too. So they could be blasting up in the air. So I'm pretty sure people will get a lot of use of these two brand new tooled blast effects that'll be included with him. When we open up that trailer that he comes with, the first big thing about this is we get Roller, that is now tooled to look like his 100% animation accurate counterpart, which debuted in G1 Episode 3, More to Meets the Art Parts 3, and is shaped and sporting that accurate gray color that he had in the show. This is a big get for this because the Earthrise Leader Class one didn't come with a roller, and the only way you could get a roller was through that extremely limited Hasbro Pulse Deluxe Class Centurion Drone Weaponizer Pack, which today goes for easily over $150 sold in the secondary market. So, and that one's blue, which is also not the animation accurate one. It's more toy accurate in look and aesthetic and shape. So this is just the fact that the roller is included is a big deal because we didn't get that with the leader. So that kind of is, that's nice to get that kind of extra pieces to that part. When you get to say the interior of the trailer, the combat deck, the combat deck turret, that leans against on that animation model look that Fluoro Deary did for season 2. Season 1 design was kind of different than season 2. Season 2, specifically the attack of the Autobots, had a very specific design for the combat deck and that turret, so it leans more on how it looked there. Sadly, much like the Earthrise one, most of the inside of the trailer still has no paint detail at all, no decos, no deco hits. It's a lot of there's plenty of sculpted detail, there's plenty of veneering, but there's no hits of deep deco or paint or anything that could kind of make it pop. There's no stickers. So it was probably a cost-effective road, I imagine they were going with. It's something that I hope we learn why that choice was done, even with the Commander, and maybe we'll get, an answer through, one of the Hasbro Pulse guys when they do a photo shoot on Instagram. But sadly, they're continuing to go this way with the inside of the trailer. So kind of disappointing, but it is what it is, it seems, as the time being. This new combat deck now is free of War for Cybertron, Siege, Earthrise, Kingdom 5mm pegs on the inside. It doesn't have the road attachment gimmick on the end of the flap of the trailer, and could be made upright to make that repair station mode and store the weapons and blast effects that are included with this figure. So that's pretty cool too, that it still does that at least. Now let's talk about the robot mode. And it looks pretty fantastic. It's a major step up from the Earthrise one. The Earthrise one really was an interpretation of the Generation 1 design by Fleur Deary and the animation model. It wasn't 100% going for it. There was just that. It was like 80% there with the coloring and the shape and the design and the silhouette. This really goes for that in a lot of ways. It does a better job with the in-plastic molding of those colors on the figure itself, so you don't have areas in the leg that are just gray for the sake of being gray because of how the tooling was. So it really hits in the right places and gets everything that original G1 animation model was trying to do, and it's rather impressive, really. It looks like, it has articulated figures, it has some solid articulation all over, and that's what the photos here convey. Now, none of these photos, at least here, show the backpack that we saw with I'll call it the piano convoy photo. So we'll have to wait to see some more official photos before we have the whole story with that. Weapon-wise, from what it looks like with these photos that we got here and with the combat deck photo, Optimus Prime comes with his Ion Blaster, Energon Axe, 2 gun blast effects that are clearly intended for the Ion Blaster, the combat deck turret, which then, of course, has the combat deck blasters to go with it, which also are used with the Ion Blaster. And while it's not shown here at all, it looks like the chest probably does open. There is a slit there, and it probably has a matrix of leadership inside, and we're not seeing it. And, of course, it also comes with the 2, I guess we'll call them launch in the air blast effects for the alt mode. So by the fact that we don't see the matrix, but this is clearly a Studio Series 86 product, and it's an 86 movie product, it's going to probably have the Matrix. Every Optimus has a Matrix accessory of a certain price point and height, so it would not surprise me that this has a Matrix. And because it doesn't show it here, it really also tells me that there's a very strong chance we're not looking at all the pictures that are to be had of this character. So there's probably more we could learn about it. I just feel like we're missing a lot of images and information, and when this is released officially through different sources, no doubt we will learn about all the accessories, the gimmicks, the twists and turns within those coming weeks, because we do have San Diego Comic-Con in 2 weeks from now, and they're going to have official Hasbro panels. They'll no doubt have it on display and revealed in the biggest, grandest stage of the year through their booth that's going to be at the convention this weekend. So it's definitely something we're going to learn as time progresses in the next 2 weeks. Lastly, let's talk about price. So if this is in that same vein of what we got with Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus, that was a Commander class, and that's any indication of the pricing of another G1 truck Commander bot, we're looking at easily $89.99 USD again. Now, the Earthrise Leader class, that was $54.99, depending on region and where you were buying it from. So there is a bit of a difference in terms of pricing of $35. While both seem like they have kind of the same thing and achieve the same goal, the Commander, at the end of the day, does come with more stuff. The Energon Axe is something that's unique to the Commander class. They didn't exist with the other one. The roller, the 4 blast effects. So there's already stuff there that's added that adds value to it, even if the figures are kind of similar in size and shape, which we still can't confirm 100% the shape, the size-wise. Again, we don't even have a solid photo of the truck mode itself from any angle, like a big wide shot. So I feel there's still so many photos to tell us. Now, this begs the question, is it worth that extra $35 more? Well, it is, at the end of the day, the be-all, end-all of a retail Optimus Prime. You know, we've been waiting for in a lot of ways outside of a masterpiece release. So we shall see. We shall see. Let me know what you think about this. I think there's still more to be revealed about this than we already know. I think there's photos missing and information. You know, we don't have a back of the box or a front of a box photo. So I think it'll be more clear, and we'll know more about that backpack and what's going on with that, and the trailer, and the matrix of leadership, and the opening of the chest and the veneering there. I'm sure there's a lot going on here, and we'll learn about it very, very soon. Again, thank you for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast. I apologize about my voice. Hopefully it'll heal over the next 24 hours or so. It was a busy weekend. It was so fun talking to all the fans that came by and loved what we do. And again, thank you for listening here today, and thank you for being educated, entertained, and informed about your hobby. And we will hit you back with more news over the next couple of days and talk to you in the near future.